Chuck, thank you. Well, it is known as possibly one of Kentuckiana's most heinous murder cases. In 1992, Shanda Sharer was burned alive by a group of young girls. And now one of those killers, Melinda Loveless, considered the ringleader that night, is asking a judge to grant her early release from prison. Today, her attorney pleaded her case in front of a judge in Madison, Indiana. WHAS 11's Derek Scott is joining us here at 5 with more on that. Derek?
Yeah, Doug, that is strangely enough the same judge who initially heard this case way back when, the same judge who warned Melinda Loveless about the consequences of taking a plea deal, then watched and listened to her plead guilty nonetheless. Now that judge will have to decide if that guilty plea was valid.
I dreaded even coming up here today.
It's a nightmare continued.
It was just horrible to have to even get ready.
15 years ago, Jacque vaught's 12-year-old daughter, Shanda Sharer, was murdered. Melinda Loveless, now in her 30s, was just 16 at the time, but apparently a brutal ringleader nonetheless. She and 3 other girls kidnapped, then beat, stabbed, and burned Sharer to death.
It didn't take her just a moment to do it. It took her 10 hours to do it, and there was planning, getting Shanda out of the house, and all kinds of different things. And she knew exactly what she was doing, and she's always known what she was doing. She knows what she's doing now.
What Loveless is doing now is trying to get out of prison.
Melinda Loveless was 16 at the time. She was not competent to enter into a contract in the state of Indiana.
Her attorney says Loveless was too young then and under too much emotional pressure to agree to the plea deal she got. It spared her life, but sentenced her to 60 years. Prosecutors contend it's a convenient and calculated argument, and she should stay in prison.
Melinda, do you believe you deserve to be let go?
Of course, for one mother, no matter how this case ends, the nightmare never will.
Justice will never be served. She could spend the rest of her life in prison. She could die in prison and justice will never be served because Shanda will never be alive.
Loveless's attorney also argued the state of Indiana's criminal laws are unconstitutional, so his and really all other criminal clients in the state should be set free. Even he admits, however, that is a bit of an uphill battle. The judge in this case will look at both defense arguments, take a couple weeks before he rules. When he does, you can expect an appeal. I'm Derek Scott, WHAS 11 News.